with the conclusion of last night's NXT and the reveal of not a return to black and gold and not the color splashed NXT 2.0, but a new evolved pristine white with gold and black trim NXT, I think now feels like the right time to put a focus on another aspect of the product in WWE that I think could use a little freshening up and given renewed emphasis. And that is the relationship with Peacock. So as of recording, you'll have one what they call premium live event, no longer pay-per-view, a month. And occasionally you'll have a selective drop of additional content, whether it's the Broken Skull sessions with Stone Cold Steve Austin, Table for Three, or something of the like. I mean, they teased the Icons documentary series, but didn't follow through with it, and I think a lot of that has to do with the A&E documentary series and the overlap or similarities thereof. But what I'm going to do is propose a different way to make Peacock relevant and must tune into for the WWE product. Maybe WWE doesn't care because they already got Peacock money. I don't know, but I would assume that Peacock would want people to tune into WWE, otherwise why pay them? So with that in mind, I'm going to propose a system of making Peacock, like I said, something that wrestling fans will want to tune into regularly. And while on the subject, I will talk about how that I would assume this would happen. And how I assume it would happen is 8 o'clock on Wednesday would be the drop of these shows. For those who know wrestling, you know that's because of AEW Dynamite. But, WWE can pretend, well, we're not going to drop it on Monday, that's Raw. We're not going to drop it on Tuesday, that's NXT, and Friday is SmackDown. I don't know what the excuse would be for Thursday, but you get the point. But yeah, so the proposal I have is a seasonal approach to Peacock. And with that seasonal approach, let's begin in the season we are currently in. That being the fall. In the fall season of WWE on Peacock, I propose that we begin this new era of making Peacock must-watch programming with the return of the Mixed Match Challenge, the elimination style tournament where you have men and women tag teams, and the winner of which get to choose their number in the Royal Rumble. I put it that way because you don't want to just say they instantly get 30, because that gives away the number, or a number, and part of the fun of the Royal Rumble is not knowing when people will come out. But if you say they have the ability to choose, then let's say that, Braun Strowman wins, and he chooses 27 because it's his most winningest number, and, he talked to his brother Braun Strowman, and he informed him, hey, that's the way to go. Or, Jimmy and, whichever Uso is married to Naomi, they win, and Naomi picks number 2 because Sonya convinced her, oh, well, I'm going to do what you can't, and so, they fight it out in the beginning. I mean, obviously that feud's over, but you get the point. Saying that they get to choose their number means that there's variety and not a reveal of that. So, this tournament or this seasonal format would end with the winners getting a shot at the Royal Rumble. In the winter season of the WWE programming on Peacock, I would have the return of the Mae Young Classic. The first two were excellent, great wrestling, introduced fans to new international talent, and I think that it's an opportunity to give new people not just the opportunity to wrestle, but also you could have the return of Brandy Rhodes to ring announcing. Amy Dumas could take over, or try to take over as lead commentator, because I think that I'm pretty sure she was a part of the first Mae Young, but had a team with a bunch of others. But give her a shot as the lead play-by-play, and bring in Renee Young let Renee Young be the play-by-play and let Amy Dumas do the color. And so that would be the winter tournament. When we enter the spring, I would like to propose a rebranding of what they did in 2021, or was it 20? What they did with the King of the Ring and the Queen's Crown tournament. So I like the idea of running both tournaments at the same time. That's great. But I don't like branding it as the Queen's Crown tournament and the King of the Ring. I want to brand this Peacock show as just the crowning, and on the crowning, we crown the King of the Ring and the Queen of the Ring, because it's something that makes good common sense. With this show, I think it would be fun to have Nigel McGuinness work as the lead babyface. Booker T can provide comedy, with Wade Barrett being the guy who's on the side of every one of the bad guys, which would make for a new dynamic to the announce team. And you could even bring in Sharmell, Booker's wife, to do ring announcing, because of her past ring announcing for him in his King Booker role. And so at the end of the crowning in the spring, you would then have the winners of the King and the Queen of the Ring tournaments challenge for SummerSlam. Because, again, I want each one of these shows in this seasonal format to have purpose. That way there's a reason for people to tune in. The fourth and final iteration of this seasonal format is not the Cruiserweight Classic, but is the spiritual successor to the Cruiserweight Classic. The reason I'm moving away from the title, the Cruiserweight Classic, is due to the idea of weight classes being less relevant now in WWE under Triple H. Because it doesn't matter if you're heavy or light. If you're over, you're over. So I'm rebranding the Cruiserweight Classic to the Eddie Guerrero Invitational. And the winner of this tournament, much like the Mae Young winner from the winter, it's not like Money in the Bank where you get to run out and cash in, but you hold the ability to get a shot at the championship upon your leisure. And so the using this seasonal format where you run in a different wrestling based show, whether it's the challenge, the classic, the crowning, or the invitational, it gives people a reason to tune into Peacock weekly. And then the thing about it is, with AEW Dynamite currently not being a streaming option, it gives people who don't have cable the ability to watch wrestling on Wednesday night, and thus, it makes Peacock must see, must tune in, destination programming for wrestling. And so I have one other pitch. Well, have another interesting revival that I would like to talk about for Peacock, but I'll save that for another time. Thanks for listening, and yeah, come back later. Don't forget, there are limited quantities of my 68-page graphic novel at Etsy.com. So pick that up before they're sold out. Thanks.